Okay, I got cut off there before, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to explain to you what I did here. I took a line and drew it across, and all I did was put a stop cut going around, and then cut it from the underside up, like a little V cut on both sides. Now you can use a V tool if you want, go from one corner to the next, but I just lowered this a little bit, and I put a little bit of an angle here. So when I go to paint it, I'm just going to paint a little bit of a pink color where you see that, and highlight the cheeks a little bit pink, yeah, to make that color. So the face is done, and we're going to do the top of the hat next. So there's that little blue ribbon that goes across. So we're just going to go like so. Alright, just like so. Go all the way around. Alright. And what you're going to do is just going to take a stop cut to go. Let me back this up just a tad here. Whoops. Wrong way. There we go. Just like so. And now I'm going to go from the other side, remember? And bring it up and around. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to make a little bit of a straight down to that stop cut. Okay, that's it. And sometimes I follow it with the tip of the knife just to give it a little bit of a ridge. You can see that now. Okay, see from the top. It doesn't have to be huge, just enough to distinguish the ribbon from the hat. Alright, what I might want to do is round this off just a tad more. We're going to put a little eye bolt at the top. You can buy those at Lowe's. They're not a dollar, maybe $1.10 for 10 of them. Cost you a dime a piece. Alright. So that's that portion. Now, going back to the arms here, we're going to go down and around. And we're going to make sure we have that distinguished there. And then we're going to go from the arm side, we're going to kind of have that meet. See how we have that? Again, you can use a V tool if you're familiar with one. I am pretty well a knife carver. I am starting to use a little more gouges for different things where it's really tough to get in with a knife. But I try as much as possible to do everything with a knife. I've learned to enjoy the gouges and things. There's one project that I really needed one to finish it for a commission piece that I was doing, and the knife just wouldn't reach or clean up the wood good enough in it, and so I ended up buying a little gouge at the show, and that's just to prove my point. You only have to purchase the things when you need them, folks. You know, you can buy hundreds of tools. You're probably only going to use a certain amount of them when you do this. I'm going to round off the arms a little bit and clean this up. So you don't want to, you know, it's up to you. If you have the money you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not opposed to people buying tools. We all have a bunch of tools somewhere. If you're a carver, you've added things along the way. It's just that if you're a beginner, it doesn't have to be a super expensive hobby. It can be. You know, if you really like to do everything with gouges, gouges can be very expensive. I was fortunate enough to be in Holland to visit my family back in the 80s and bought a lot of them for like $2 or $3 a piece that you could spend anywhere from $25 to $50 for today. So, okay, so I'm cleaning this up. I'm going to clean up this side too. Go up just a tad higher. There, make that distinguishable there. So, you know, you can buy all kinds of tools, and like I said, you can do this hobby very expensive if you want, but it does depend what you want, how you want to carve. With relief carvers, you know, really those tools are necessary to do what they're doing. But once you get the tools, they're lifetime. you know, they should be a lifetime tool. Should never have to buy new ones because the other one wore out, you know. So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. I can feel it tug a little bit, so I need to go down the other way like so. Need to clean that up just a little bit more. See how I'm cleaning it up as I'm going here? So we're going to do that. We're going to take all those markings off. We'll put those back on. And I'm going to round this off a little bit more. It's a good idea to have a thumb guard on. I don't have one on today. I don't normally wear one, but it's recommended that you do. Same thing with the glove. Okay, I'm trying to think if I... Alright, so see how we're coming along okay, folks? See that? Cool. Alright, so we're going to clean off the front, and we're going to round off that edge right there. And I'm going to go a little deeper underneath this hand here, a little bit. Just make that a little bit more of a rounded section there. Alright. And I'm just going to take my knife and I'm going to clean off all the markings and the wood. And that can be a little bit of a challenge, folks. If your knife isn't long enough, you're not going to be able to do this. So, you know, that's the one thing. If you're finding you can't do your project with the tool that you're working with, then it's time to get another tool or add to your collection. I know that hand's a little bit bigger than that one. That's alright. I'll round this up. Okay? Alright, let me just get that in there nice and clean. See, and if it goes the opposite way, you kind of just meet it there. And using V-tools too, you have to be really mindful how the grain is running when you use them, because you can tear up the wood. And I find sharpening a knife is so much more easier than those gouges. Maybe I'm lazy that way, but I enjoy the knife, I really do. Alright, I guess everybody has their things that they like and don't like about carving. I, for one, am not a chip carver, so, you know, those of you that do that, I give you a lot of credit. It's a lot of patience than what I'm doing here. And that precision work is much more the way it should be. So we'll be right back, and we'll maybe finish this puppy up. Okay? We'll be back.